Okay, it's recording right now. Get a little closer just to get in the shot.
Like this?
Yeah, that's fine. I'll be kind of like that. All right. So, all right, Jenny. You ready to go here in a bit?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Always ready.
Okay. Here we go. Okay. All right. I need to do a little countdown. Oh, you know what? Let me just write down some of the key ideas here just in case. Jenny, key ideas, confidence, intimidated at first. What else would you say was?
I mean, obviously, I'm a lot stronger.
Stronger.
The shoulder pain has been resolved.
Shoulder pain resolved.
My body fat has obviously just decreased substantially.
Mm-hmm.
And then, and quitting smoking too. That's just the best.
Anything else that was in there that you wrote that can remind you of?
How about, let me see. Oh yeah, just like getting to leave my brain at the door and letting you do all of the guesswork, taking all the guesswork.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right, you ready to go?
Yes.
3, 2, which get a little, just in case, I don't know, I can't see the shot. That's why I'd rather err on the side of getting it right. 3, 2, 1. Hi, I'm Jacob Adams, and this is Jenny Milcheski.
Hello.
And Jenny and I have been working together for 3 months on getting Jenny in better shape. I'll be giving you the numbers as to what she's achieved in the last 3 months. Right at about 3 months and 2 weeks, you took 1 week vacation, and then there was like 2 kind of weeks vacation with the trip, right?
Yeah.
So it's been about 3 months and 2 weeks. And so we're going over a little bit of her stats here in a bit. You know what? Let's just get rid of the stats. Not rid of them, but let's establish those to begin with, and then we'll get into her story, right? Mm-hmm. So Jenny started with us at 40% body fat, which we use a Staiku to measure that. So some people she looks really good right now. She was pretty slender. She wasn't a big person. But 40 pounds of fat might sound like a lot. 40% might sound like a lot, but our measurement machine is called a Staiku. Long story short, she had 53.2 pounds of fat back in January 6th. Mm-hmm. April 8th, which was last week, we got her at 31% body fat, 31.6% body fat, which means that she's got 41.2 pounds of body fat. So a total of 12 pounds lost of body fat. And that's 8.6% down. Okay,
it's huge.
Jenny, how do you feel about that? Just the fat part. I mean, just losing the fat.
I mean, I feel great. Yeah. I feel really proud of that.
Cool. Mm-hmm. Right on. Your clothes is fitting better and all that.
Yeah. I'm getting a lot of compliments. Like one of my friends, a week or 2 ago commented, he said, "Oh, have you been working out?" I'm like, yes, I have. To have people notice that.
Yeah.
It's kind of difficult because I see myself in the mirror every day to kind of notice those little incremental changes over the past 3 months.
Right.
But when people start coming up to me and saying, "Hey, are you working out?" or "Hey, you look so good. What have you done differently?"
Right.
Those kind of comments from other people are starting to come in. And even my mom and my sister, when I went to go visit them, they were like, "Wow, what are you doing?" Like, it's just so nice.
Yeah. And I remember it was tough to convince you were doing good. And we had to do these measurements. Remember, like you would come and say, "Hey, the scale's not moving." And I'd say, "Jenny, you are doing good. Let's do a measurement." And then I would say, in spite of your, self-doubt, right? The machine is saying that you're looking better.
Yeah. So.
And your mom and sister was the final judge. I remember you're like, well, until what they say. And then you came back from that trip and you're like, they did say so, that I was doing pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, I've been taught all my life, the scale is the one that you have to pay attention to. You have to be at this particular weight or whatever. Yeah. But it's like, I think seeing these statistics from this Staiku,
mm-hmm.
It really helped me because it was able to break down and analyze in more depth as to the amount of fat that I actually lost but in addition to that, the amount of muscle that I gained too,
right.
which is it didn't cause the scale to go down that much, but the difference between the fat and the muscle measurements using those metrics were
right. Which is, and we're going to get into why it didn't change very much, the scale at least, because how much did the scale change in your opinion, or from what you remember, actual shift?
I think it was like 5 pounds.
Maybe total,
down.
right?
Yeah, total. Yeah.
Well, we got you starting at 75.5 pounds of lean body mass, which is everything from your muscle, your bones, everything that's good, everything you want to keep, to 85.3 pounds of lean body mass. So you gained 9.8 pounds of muscle. So that's why, because you lost 12 pounds of fat and you gained basically 10 pounds of muscle. So we weren't going to see much of a change, right? So you accomplished basically what anybody wants, is the holy grail of fitness, is to gain muscle while burning fat. So all the while you're beating yourself up, you're actually getting stellar results, or what everybody wants. So that's the importance of accurate measurements, right? Because here you are doing great, all the while you're walking around saying, if I could only be doing better.
I know, right? Yeah.
So the last measurement that we'll get into, and then we'll get a little bit into your story, is a hip to waist ratio. And this was the last bit of good news for you, which I did tell you. Unfortunately for Jenny, it's good news. And I'll tell you a little bit. We'll go into that a little bit. So Jenny started with a hip to waist ratio of 0.74. What the hip to waist ratio is, a quick acid test of health and of aesthetics. Okay, so anything under a 0.8 is generally considered healthy-ish. Anything under a 0.75 is relatively aesthetic, or health is present usually. Okay, so it's sort of just a quick measurement. It's the ratio of the waist to the hips. Jenny started at 0.74. Okay, nothing wrong with that number. But now with more muscle present, she's going to look firmer in the legs and in the areas where she wants, like the glutes, the hamstring area, the quads, right? You wanted that skin to smooth out a little bit.
Yeah, I had some cellulite on my legs, on my quads and everything.
And some of it's smoothed out.
Yes, right? Quite substantially.
Right. And so as of right now, as of last week, Jenny achieved a perfect score, which is 0.70. I've been training for a long time. You know, if a woman has a 0.70 hip to waist ratio, that's as good as it's going to get.
But right? I like to beat myself up. I always like to have that. I like to have that.
You're still not there. You still need work to do.
Yeah.
You're not there, Jenny. You still have plenty of work to do. Right.
Good.
So, so what I told Jenny to help her with that part of herself, I said, but that was last week. Of course, that could be gone. It could have been once. It's just, and it's gone. Maybe you'll never achieve it again. You know, I did that for Jenny. Most clients would hate me for that, but it helps Jenny kind of feel.
Yeah, because it's like the biggest room in the world is room for improvement.
Right.
And you know, if there's always something more to strive for.
Right.
I mean, even though my hip to waist ratio is pretty good, right? I mean, I still have.
It's considered excellent.
Yeah.
But last week though.
But I'm still motivated to keep going more because I want to get that 4-pack and then that 6-pack.
Right. Right on. And I think you will with that kind of motivation. So we want to get into a little bit of your story for the next 5 minutes or so, to share your story. When I met you, we were going to share about how you used to smoke, right?
Yes.
How long were you smoking?
Oh my gosh, all my life.
Most of your life?
Yes.
Okay, so like at least 10 years.
Yeah, and like a heavy smoker too, like a pack a day.
And we did the math on that. That was about 500 cigarettes, right?
Yeah, very expensive habit,
right?
And just like a bad habit. But when I came here and started working with you, I had no intention of quitting smoking. I had no intention. I enjoyed it. I wanted to keep smoking, but the thing is you know, I got here in this environment, and having this, you know, health centric training, you know, not only with the weights, but with, you know, with diet and lifestyle. And it was just a natural thing that I let that piece of me go, that I let the smoking go, because, you know, when I'm here in this environment, it's like I want to be healthy. I'm motivated to rise up into higher levels. And there was no way that I was going to be able to do that and to achieve these fitness outcomes if I hadn't quit smoking. And I feel great. I haven't, you know, I sometimes go for little jogs in the morning too. And, you know, the cardio aspect of it is huge. So that fact alone, that when I was able, when I started training with you, that I quit smoking, that alone is worth its weight in gold.
It really is. I mean, that's I think logically anyone can understand that, right? How many cigarettes have you had? Because it wasn't a flawless one, which is good. I think it's good that you had little slips, because it means it was a real addiction, right? This is not like, oh, she just quit. Like, this was something that you worked on quitting. I happened to have some nicotine gum the day we met, because I like nicotine gum, not because I ever was into smoking. Let me tell you a quick story about how I got into nicotine gum, which I have right now. And I think you're chewing nicotine gum. Yeah. I got into it because of a book I read, and it went into using nicotine gum as a type of nootropic, because it helps enhance cognitive function, about 2 milligrams per day or 2 milligrams at a time. And then I got to 4 milligrams, because it's kind of, you know, it was just like, I didn't want to cut the gum in half. Right now I'm doing 2 milligrams a day, or 2 milligrams at a time. That's why I happen to have it. That plus coffee, it sort of just kind of gets a nice little pep going. Anyway, that's why they had the gum. But how about you? So you said the gum helped you that day. I happen to have had like a extra 6 with me, or 4 with me, probably. I don't even know.
So I thought that the fact that you had nicotine gum that day was it was so serendipitous. And I remember, you gave me a little piece of it, and then I'm like, okay, well, this is fine. Okay, well, maybe if chewing nicotine gum isn't so bad, well, maybe then quitting smoking will be is something that I can handle too. So I think the fact that you had nicotine gum that day, I think really helped to push me to make that final decision to go ahead and quit altogether, which I did. But I had a few slip-ups.
How many times? Like, how many cigarettes from January 6th to April 8th?
I think like a total of 7.
Okay, so I think it was 6.5 at one point. So there was the other half found its way in there. Or
no,
you're just rounding up.
You're just rounding up. But yeah, I did have a few slips, and I felt bad. After.
Now that half is an interesting story. That had to be a moment where you go, I'm better than this, or what?
I split it with somebody.
Okay, somebody else was I think it was your mom, right?
Yeah.
I think you were just, okay, so it was a split. So there was a moment where but it wasn't because there was 2 cigarettes available, right? You were like, you know what? Let me just sort of not go full throttle here with one. Is that what that was?
Yeah, and I think what this training program has done for me too is it has instilled in me the idea of delayed gratification, you know, and working hard for something up front, and having that really gratifying feeling of seeing these spectacular results of it too. You know, it's easy to be able to pick up a cigarette, or to be able to pick up a candy bar, or to just lounge around on a couch all day. Those are, those instant gratification moments where you are indulgent in the moment. But what this program has taught me, and is that the rewards for working hard now and the rewards that you see in the future, that's what is really truly satisfying. It's a lot more satisfying than than a candy bar or a cigarette or anything like that.
Right. It is, right? It's sort of, those are very trivial, fleeting experiences versus, like, we were getting into self-esteem. You wanted to talk about self-esteem and what it's done for you in your career, or the things that you're goal setting now. You want to talk about the self-esteem and how it's helped your confidence and your overall objectives now. That's one of the things you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think when I came in here, my self-esteem was very low. I mean, I still beat myself up a little bit from time to time, because it's like I like being hard on myself, because it helps me to rise up into higher levels of well-being. But one of the things that working with you has done for me is it's given me the confidence and encouragement and motivation that I need to pursue other opportunities in my personal life and my career and my education too. So during the time that we were working together, and we celebrated this, like I told you before, but I was accepted into a PhD program.
Right.
And
that was a big thing for you.
It was huge. Yeah, it was. And I remember having that interview. It was like a panel interview with, 9 high-level doctors, and to be able to conduct myself with poise, with an improved poise and grace that I learned from, just taking better care of my body. I think it's allowed me to just communicate and just portray myself in a more authoritative way too, to be able to know deep down that I have this high level of self-discipline that it takes to achieve my fitness goals. Well, then if I'm able to do this, then I'm able to do a lot of other things too. So it's helped launch my career into new areas too that I didn't think were possible.
Right. I really agree with you on that. The self-esteem, a person's self-esteem is so important to getting to next levels and to staying in tune with their goals. And it's tough sometimes, right? We sometimes go through these like little doubts or challenges happen, and then what do? Like, there's that moment where you really have to dig down deep and say, I know I'm better than this, or I know I can pull through this, and I've done it before and I'll do it again. Like these type of things, they seem trivial, but I think they're the most important mindsets.
And I think too, having this schedule where I was working with you twice a week, showing up rain or shine, regardless of whatever I was going through in my personal life too, sometimes it's taught me that showing up is sometimes half the battle, if not more, right? So just to show up and do the very best you can do, and then the results just follow naturally.
Right on. So we're going to get ready to close up. Thank you so much for sharing. You wanted to know, you also said your shoulder pain got resolved, everything, but do you want to talk about that briefly?
Yeah, so I got in a skiing accident when I was much younger.
Right.
I went off this big, huge jump and I fell on my shoulder. And ever since then, my shoulder has just kind of clicked and bothered me a little bit. But, today I don't have any pain. And I would have a lot of tension like in my neck and everything too, but now it's like completely gone.
Right.
So a lot of these health issues that I had, where I was even considering taking maybe medication or something for, just through working with you, it's been resolved. Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. So there's most stuff that we wanted to talk about. I'm excited for your future results coming. I know you're very motivated and you've got that discipline like you've been saying. So I'm very excited to hear about you going forward, and good luck on your PhD program and all that.
Yes, thank you.
So let's get to our session here in a bit.
All right, Jenny. It's leg day.
Congrats on the results.
Thank you so much. Okay.
So I hope they didn't stop recording. That's my main concern right now. Yeah, and we're good.